Hello and welcome to the August 20th, 2026 Daily News Edition for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Today we're covering several important updates from around the global church.
On today's agenda, we have four main stories. We'll start with the Japan earthquake relief, then look at the Cleveland, Ohio temple dedication. After that, we'll cover the stained glass keynote, and finally, wrap up with a message from music and the spoken word.
Starting with our first story today, Japan earthquake relief, where the church supports communities in Kumamoto.
As you may recall, a powerful earthquake struck central Kumamoto Prefecture on the afternoon of July 28th. It was a 7.1 magnitude quake. According to the church's Asian newsroom, this disaster has left nearly 4,000 people living in evacuation shelters, and sadly, more than 28,000 homes were either destroyed or heavily damaged.
The Yatsushiro area saw some of the most significant damage. Right after the earthquake, local church leaders including Kumamoto Japan Stake President Yuki Chishiro and Yatsushiro Branch President Wataru Shibata went out to visit affected members and their families. To help out, essential relief supplies were delivered to the Yatsushiro Branch Meeting House. This included things like drinking water, sports drinks, non-perishable food and hygiene items, all ready for distribution. To make sure help got to where it was needed most, the Kumamoto Japan Stake coordinated their relief and meal distributions with the church's welfare and self-reliant services, local volunteer centers, and Second Harvest Japan. Church representatives also took part in the Hinokuni Conference to coordinate directly with government officials and other disaster relief groups. All of this incredible collaboration led to a major community service project just a few days ago, on August 15th, where church members and missionaries worked together to assist the Yatsushiro Volunteer Center.
Moving on to our second story, the Cleveland, Ohio temple dedication, bringing the house of the Lord home.
This new temple has a truly profound historic connection to the early days of the church. It's located in the suburb of Independence, just 25 miles southwest of historic Kirtland, Ohio. Now, as you know, Kirtland is where early members built the church's very first temple back in 1836. Fast forward to today, and the Cleveland, Ohio temple stands proudly as the church's 221st operating house of the Lord.
Elder David A. Bednar of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles presided over the dedication on Sunday, August 16th. Before the ceremony, he reflected on the Savior's vision in the Kirtland Temple, found in Doctrine and Covenants section 110, where it was declared that the fame of the house would spread to foreign lands. Thinking about this beautiful new temple in northeastern Ohio, Elder Bednar said, now it comes back home. He pointed out just how remarkable it is to see a house of the Lord dedicated so close to where that worldwide influence first began.
Getting to this dedication has been a multi-year journey. The groundbreaking for this 9,950 square foot temple took place on June 1st, 2024. More recently, the public open house ran from June 18th to July 3rd of this year. And of course, that all led up to the official dedication on August 16th, opening the temple to serve church members across 4 stakes in northeastern Ohio. During that open house period, there was a really special connection made with the local community. Coordinators Brian and Robin Laubach shared a fascinating story about a neighbor whose property actually borders the temple. While chatting with volunteers, this neighbor discovered that her ancestor was none other than Peter Whitmer, one of the 8 witnesses of the Book of Mormon. Because of that brief conversation, volunteers were able to give her a copy of the Book of Mormon and share some history about her ancestor and historic Kirtland.
The dedication itself was a deeply personal milestone for many local members. 15-year-old Nicole Sender from the Hiram Ward spoke during the ceremony. She talked about how attending the temple helps her feel spiritually recharged. When summarizing what it meant to watch a temple be built so close to her home, she said, "Never think that God forgets about you. I feel like the one thing I've really gotten from all my experiences in the temple is just how God's love and His plan are really for us."
For our third story, we'll look at the stained glass keynote, Finding the Savior's Light.
This past weekend, on Friday, August 14th, the Utah Area Young Single Adult Conference was held in Salt Lake City. The keynote address was given by renowned stained glass artists Gayle and Tom Holdman, who have created art glass for more than 150 temples. During the address, Gayle shared a profound moment of personal revelation. She said the Spirit once taught her, "You have never completed a stained glass window." She was a bit shocked at first, but then she realized the deeper truth. A stained glass window isn't actually complete until light shines through it. She used this as a beautiful metaphor for us. A stained glass window is made by gathering various unique glass pieces, different sizes, shapes, and colors, and placing them purposefully in a divine design. But the artwork only shows its true glory and strength when you allow God's light to illuminate the whole thing.
Gayle emphasized that the children of God are exactly like those unique pieces of glass, and that Jesus Christ is the light whose eternal role is to illuminate our very souls.
Following that, her husband Tom Holdman shared a powerful testimony about overcoming his own personal trials. He talked about being teased a lot as a child because of a severe stutter. But things changed when a teacher introduced him to paper and crayons. He discovered visual art, which became an international language for him to communicate with others. This new way of expressing himself truly strengthened his soul and eventually built up his confidence to serve a mission.
Tom went on to teach that our weaknesses aren't disqualifications, rather they are invitations for the grace of Jesus Christ to make our light shine even brighter. To really drive the point home, he actually wielded a glass sword on stage. He left the young adults with this incredible invitation. When all hope appears lost, connect your soul to a higher power. Then watch as a great sword of light arises within you. He encouraged everyone there to trust God with the challenges they just can't fix themselves yet.
Finally, our fourth segment brings us to music and the spoken word, another perspective.
On the August 16th broadcast of Music and the Spoken Word, Derek Porter delivered a really thought-provoking message. He focused on finding a higher perspective when we're facing life's problems, and he asked an intriguing question. How can viewing our problems from the opposite direction actually help us understand them better?
To answer that, Porter introduced the concept of inversion. It's a practice originally attributed to the famous German mathematician Carl Gustav Jacob Jacobi. Inversion is essentially the practice of trying to solve a challenging problem by turning it around and looking at it from the exact opposite direction. Jacobi was known to say, "One must always invert," meaning that we often understand an idea much more fully when we take the time to consider not just what it is, but also what it is not. To illustrate how this works, Porter pointed to the Apostle Paul's teachings on charity in 1 Corinthians. Paul describes love by what it is: it's patient, it's kind, it rejoices in the truth, and it bears all things. But he also defines it by what it is not. It is not puffed up, not selfish, not easily provoked, and not resentful. Porter concluded that practicing this kind of inversion can really help us view our own trials from a higher perspective. When we start seeing our challenges as opportunities to learn and progress, rather than just roadblocks, we open our minds and our hearts to heaven.
Please support us by following, liking, and sharing this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.